Hello CineTechGeeks, this is James Gardner again, and yes, I am here for Showest 2010. I'm sorry I'm taking so long to get the videos out, but it's been very hectic for me. I've got a number of products coming out from the company that I work for, and my wife is having a baby, so you can imagine what it's like. And I'll try and get some videos out as quickly as I can. But this year I'd just like to mention that I get to go to Showest every year because of the company I work for, which is Digital, and we are a cinema solutions software development company, and we do a lot of integration technologies and other technologies, like for example this year we announced the DCP player and DCP encoder. And as I spend so much time making these videos, I had to agree with my company to sponsor the videos because it takes me so much time and time from me doing this work instead of their work, that I agreed to allow them to sponsor the videos for this year. So expect those sponsorship alerts on the videos, but I'll have more on those products too, and I think there's some very interesting products. I spend most of my time looking at all these technologies and trying to come up with the best solutions to help this industry move forward, so keep an eye out for that. But also just a quick chat about Showest this year. Showest 2010, what was it about? What was the feeling? Well, my feeling from the show, and I like to look at it from my perspective and trying to help cinemas understand the digital technology and moving forward with it, is that this year seemed to be a bit of a getting over the hump year for digital. Well, the previous years, like last year, one of the main topics was VPF and alternative content. Well, there didn't seem to be any mention of that this year. We had more of a mention of, okay, now we're digital, how do we improve our 3D screens? What's the best 3D technology for your screen? Or what about closed caption and open captions, and implementing all these new technologies we have to do with our digital solutions? And that was the more of the feeling of the show this year, that it's not about getting VPF and when will we move forward with digital. Okay, quite a lot of us have moved forward with digital and we're getting on with the job. So that was a big change for me this year. And the only thing I'd like to mention is that I know that I didn't say VPFs weren't mentioned a lot, but a lot of people were talking about it up in those hotel rooms, I can tell you, trying to get on with the job. So I hope these videos are informative this year. I showed a number of different things. Especially, I'd also like to mention about the other big phase of this year was the implementation of the Series 2 projectors from all the projector manufacturers, NEC, Barco and Christie. And that's quite a big and interesting issue. Of course, this is very related to the 4K issue. Now, generally overall, in my opinion, all the projectors are very good. All the manufacturers make very good projectors, and you can't really go wrong with any of them. It's more up to do as how is your supporters in your region, etc., which I would suggest would differ on which brand you would mostly likely go for. But in terms of the Series 1 and Series 2, what's the main difference? Well, the Series 1, there's nothing wrong with them at all, but they are a Series 1, or one would say a version 1 of that sort of technology, and Series 2 basically improves on Series 1. A lot of the areas are in the serviceability, maintenance, and remote support and everything like that, and how the logging and everything very much affects people as integrators, etc. It's really good. The Series 2 really comes a long way in that area, and it's good to see. And mostly the Series 2 has been about, there's the media block. We've got the external SMS or DCI players. In the new Series 2, they can have a card which talks to that, or they can have what's called an internal media block. And it's a very important issue, because I know there's a lot of talk of 4K and should I wait for 4K, etc. Now, that was also quite an interesting aspect, because 4K was quite a big issue last year, and Sony had the inside run there, etc. And then we came out with DLP announcing their 4K, etc. And it had the very much of a feel last year that it was that you're in at your big TV store, and you had the salesman doing the hard sell. You've got your 720 or you've got your 1080p with a little bit more money and say, oh, you got to get the big one, etc. Well, it's a week later, and now we know that, you know, maybe I don't need 4K on this screen or that screen. Do I need to buy it now, etc.? And there's very much people are going back and saying, well, I can get some 2K systems now, I can upgrade them to 4K at a later date, or I could move those down to smaller screens and replace the bigger screens with the 4K when they come. And it's very much they're taking a much more of a holistic approach at it, and knowing that it's something we need to go to, but we don't need to rush it, and we probably want to get to know our 4K and what it can do before we go out and start spending the extra money. So that was very interesting, to the sort of feel I got from some people too. And I think the most interesting comment I got from the show at I think it was on the last night, where everyone was drinking, we're having a bit of a chat, and someone was from a digital cinema was talking to me and said, he said, I'd rather lose an arm than go back to film. I thought, geez, that was a bit extreme, but that's some of the feelings we're getting with some of these bigger sites which have completely gone digital and basically don't have anyone really up in the bio room or the projection anymore, and they're just leaving that to run with the, you know, all automatic as it can be done when you actually go for the full hog. So very interesting show this year. I hope you enjoy my videos, and that's James Gardner for CineTechGeek for now.